Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your April monthly predictions reading. So lovely to have you here. This reading is intended for Aquarius Sun Moon risings or people who have strong Aquarius placements. So if you are not an Aquarius and you're a cross watcher, you are more than welcome to stay. I just need you to know that I'm a very honest reader. So if you hear or see something that you don't like, you have been warned. Now Aquarius, this reading is a general predictions reading looking at the month of April. I'm going to start with this beautiful oracle deck. We're going to pull a card that will tell us the theme for April for you, the main theme. And then I'm going to break the energy down week by week in April, looking at what you can expect with tarot, getting very specific messages, clarifying with another tarot deck before closing your reading with an advice card. So there's a lot of information, Aquarius. Let's get straight into it, starting with your theme. What is Aquarius's main theme in the month of April? What is Aquarius's... Okay, we're not going to take all those cards. What is Aquarius's main theme in the month of April, please, Spirit? Hi. Again, too many cards. What is Aquarius's main theme in the month of April, please, Spirit? We have the World card. Oh, this makes me think of you with Saturn. Saturn is a planet that I would associate with Aquarius, although Uranus is mostly your main planet, I believe. The World card is an interesting energy. We got the number 29 there as well. So let me zoom in for you and we will talk about this first. I feel as a main theme, sweets, this month has you looking back at some of the choices you've already made. And I'm a little bit worried about this because I feel like you've been doing this. I feel like you have had quite a reflective moment in your life. So something happens in April that has you kind of looking back and wondering what would have, could have, should have happened had things been different. Now, this is an interesting energy. For me, the World card in this deck, it kind of gives me that feeling of your life flashing before, your eyes, not in a near-death way, but in a way of like, if I could have done anything different, what would I do? So I feel like something's going to happen to you in April that has you questioning your choices and also having you face a moment of, if I can do anything different, what would I do? What will I do? I feel this World energy giving you an opportunity to change your current path, your trajectory. Almost like if you just switch a little bit to the left, or if you do a little bit more of this every day, maybe the end result will be different. It almost feels preventative. It feels like something is really putting us into perspective. A situation is going to unfold in a way where we really are looking at ourselves and going, how can I change this? How can I create a different outcome? And I feel like this is both a very daunting weight to have on us, but it's also a wonderful opportunity to actually make some serious changes. I see the number 29 for you as decisions that lead to alternate outcomes, the goal being that we change, that we don't continue the way that we are, and that we embrace an alternate outcome, an alternate ending that is better suited towards our ideas of success. So big energy for you, sweets. What the heck? I'll be honest with you, Aquarius, you came up in other people's readings too. So you're going to be impacting a lot of people this month, whether it's big or small in your eyes. I feel like you're you're having a big impact. So let us pull some tarot now. We'll get more specific and have a look at what April has in store for you. What's going on in April for Aquarius, please, Spirit, starting with week 1. Look at this thinking. Look at this thinking. Week 1 has you all over the place. I can't take all these cards, so I'm going to take the 4 of Swords, and we will keep these two in mind, the 5 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. Spirit, what has week 2 in April got in store for Aquarius? Week 2 is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, you might be working with an earth sign here. Earth, yeah, I'll only bring it up because it's coming up. You could have a prominent earth sign in your life. This we're talking about Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And by prominent, I mean they're a close friend, or they're basically family, and you're in this kind of helping each other mode, mentoring each other mode. It feels like Virgo, but it could be Capricorn. I don't want to eliminate Taurus. I'm just going to say earth sign. What about week 3 for Aquarius, please, Spirit? Oh, this card, it came out again. All right, well, we knew that was going to happen. This energy is very similar. That's why. We also had the Hanged Man coming out, so very reflective. The idea is to get a new perspective, to change the course so that we don't continue to burn out and that we can change the outcome before, so that it's not the worst case scenario. Geez, what's going on for you, my sweet peas? That 4th week, please, Spirit. What's happening for Aquarius in that 4th week? Again, so many cards. 4th week, I want to take Judgment, but I'll show you all the cards that flipped for you. Let's give yourself some room here, because I'll be clarifying all of these with Tarot. A second deck. The other cards that came out were the 9 of Wands, the Chariot reversed, 7 of Cups reversed, and the 2 of Swords. So lots of choices, inaction. You're very stubborn. You're very stubborn. That's what I'm going to tell you. You don't need to hear it from me. You know that about yourself. But back of the deck is the 5 of Cups. So overall, what I'm seeing in the weeks is a progression of disappointment. You're disappointed in how a situation has turned out. And I want to say, sweetheart, you can be as in denial as you want, but this disappointment feels self-directed. You're disappointed in something that you've done. And I feel with the 5 of Cups that the goal of this emotion is to change something, to do something about that feeling. Feelings are indicators, feelings are symptoms. So what is that symptom highlighting? What is that painful feeling highlighting? The goal throughout the month of April is to use how you feel about your life, about your situation, about this horrible feeling of I wish I could have, wish I would have, wish I did, to actually change the overall goal, the overall outcome, the trajectory. So let's look at this first week, shall we? The 4 of Swords. I see this being a week of rest. I see you needing to kind of get into contemplation mode. I see you mostly just trying to disassociate from certain people, putting your phone on silent, being very careful about who you have around you and whose input you allow in your life. It feels like there may be people making assumptions or just some really strong opinions around you, and I see you needing to distance yourself from that in the first week of April. It's going to be a bit of a lazy week, but I think it needs to be. I think the goal of that week for you is to just kind of wind down. I'm really seeing rest, sweets. Rest, rest, rest. Is there anything else that Aquarius needs to know? The goal of this rest period is to get you in a state of creation again and creating through what you have to offer. Because the difference between the Empress and the Emperor in terms of their similarities, these two cards are very similar if you're not familiar with tarot. The Empress creates with what they have. The Emperor creates with what they see. So I feel like for you, you're growing something here. The goal for you is to get into a state of growth and fertility and creation through your resources and what you have available to you. And sometimes we may have all the tools, we just don't have the energy. So I see in that first week of April, you need to kind of rest. And I do see you having this sort of mothering energy around you, maybe taking care of yourself or someone taking care of you. It may be helpful to just connect with a lot of feminine energy in that first week, to get into the right energy, connect with someone who embodies this mothering, empress, nurturing energy. Taking care of your physical body is especially important in the first week of April, and ensuring that you're creating and you're acting from a place of resources in terms of I have rather than I want. So make sure that you're very aware of what you do have before you give something to somebody else in that first week of April. Money, I feel maybe a bit slow there because you're in a slow period. I feel like you may even be taking some time off work in that first week, but I do see you just trying to de-stress and declutter your life energy-wise, limiting calls, screening calls, and being very selective over who you reply to, who you answer back, which is a form of like self-preservation sweets in that first week. Second week of April has you progressing into wanting to create more, wanting to kind of be more autonomous as well. I feel like if you're not already, you're trying to be more independent. And I feel like this is something that Aquarius people need in general. I don't like to typecast, but the second week is highlighting your values to you and what is important to you and how you want to embrace that more. So if somebody is compromising you in a way where they're taking away some of your independence or they're throwing your values in your face, I feel like you're not going to deal with it well. And I do see with that Queen of Pentacles, the second week for you is about building from something. So you're really kind of connecting to your more sentimental side here. And I feel like you're, again, like working with someone here. It feels like an earth sign just because it's Queen of Pentacles, but it doesn't have to be. This is somebody who you kind of look up to. This is somebody who impresses you, or somebody who, you know, when they give you advice, it's from a place of experience. So you take that advice. This is someone who is very hands-on. When they say they're going to help, they're going to help. And I feel like this is someone who you low-key aspire to be as well. What is this Queen of Pentacles doing in the second week of April? Is there anything I've missed? Yeah, somebody is helping you here. I feel like there is a support energy between you and an earth sign. And I think with the Hermit reverse, there's only so much this person can do before you need to kind of think for yourself and follow your own wisdom. But I believe that this person is very helpful in at least making you feel like this situation is not helpless, you're not alone, somebody's been through it before and there are ways through it. Now, your mind is really like a sponge in many ways, so you're very susceptible to advice and information. Please be careful about what information you listen to, because I see that some harmful information could really negatively impact your mood, especially with your bottom deck energy being the Five of Cups. You're so susceptible towards disappointment and pessimistic thinking in April, so be careful about what you pay attention to, and you don't need to answer everybody's messages or constantly overstimulate yourself with bad news. In the second week, connecting with this person will help ground you. There's only so much this person can do before you need to trust yourself and listen to yourself as well. With the Hermit reversed, this person's advice is supposed to guide you, but they can't fix your problems. They can only take you so far. And I do believe with that Hermit, I'll clarify, is there anything else they need to know with that Hermit, please, Spirit? Because there's something else there. I just don't want to say it in case I'm wrong. Yeah, I do believe with that Hermit, a lot of the reason we're relying on this person is because we can't trust ourselves. We're struggling to see the answers for ourselves, but this person as a crutch in our life is temporary. They may be a stable, loving, loyal, supportive person that we can 9 times out of 10 depend on, but the answers that you are seeking will not all be able to come from them. So that second week is about getting inspired, feeling grounded, but ultimately trusting ourselves again and trusting that we can get ourselves through this. I believe that you've got a bit of a victim mentality here in the second week, which is something to look out for. And again, your mind is precious, but it's very spongy. Be careful. With the Justice card, your partnerships are everything. The people who you choose to interact with is everything. The people you communicate with is everything, in terms of you're going to be very sensitive towards those connections, towards those conversations. And I think with Justice here, you're just trying to balance out your circumstances and get a win for yourself. And I do see that happening, but I see that the way that you get there is by trusting yourself and honoring your wisdom and what you know can happen, trying not to get too pessimistic and in too much of a victim state of mind. In the third week here with the Nine of Swords, I believe you're going to receive an epiphany. It feels like this kind of may have started at the start of the month, but we ended up kind of grounding ourselves in this Queen of Pentacles in the second week. By the third week, these thoughts are overwhelming, and these thoughts are trying to highlight clarity. They're trying to give us the answers. But at this point, because we have been avoiding them, the thoughts are almost intrusive, and they're not all that helpful as well. Some of them are just there for the sake of our brain is tired and we are unable to decipher out good and bad messages. I feel like you need a mental break in April, okay? You need to really be careful about, again, the conversations you're having, what media you're exposing yourself to, what you're allowing your mind to focus on in general, especially with social media and the internet. Be very careful, because the Nine of Swords tells me it's all going to be too much for you come the third week. The goal here is to give you clarity. The Nine of Swords is always a moment of epiphany, but it comes with a pain. It comes with this idea of, oh gosh, is it too late? What can you tell us about the Nine of Swords, Spirit? What's going on here about this Nine of Swords? Yeah, okay. And something unexpected happening here that you weren't expecting. It impacts your mood immediately. And it's something that will ultimately give you closure. Four of Pentacles. This is what I'm looking at. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Tower, the Sun, and the Six of Swords. So I see you healing ultimately, but I see you realizing this information with sadness, with the Sun reversed. And it's unexpected with the Tower, something coming out of nowhere, happening very suddenly, very quickly. But with the Four of Pentacles, it's not like you can do much about it anyway. It feels like your hands are tied. Spirit, what is this Nine of Swords moment for Aquarius? Oh, okay. I just want you to be prepared for a situation happening with your friends. It feels like it's something that, I want to be very careful about what I say here, because this is a general reading and I don't want to draw conclusions. I'm trying to be general. It's going to vary depending on your individual circumstance. It could be as minor as you hear some bad news that a close friend is going through a situation and there's not much you can do to help them except offer them support from a distance. You have love for this person, you care for this person, you have memories with them, you may have gone to school with them, you may have worked with them, but it feels like there's not much that you can do. So you just hold space for them, tuning into their energy, feeling a bit sad and trying to say what you can, but you feel like you can't say everything that you want to. You have questions, you can't get all your answers. We have the Two of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles coming out to clarify what this moment is. I feel like this involves someone that you're close to. This could be a lover as well, but this is someone who you consider a peer, someone who is on your level with the Two of Cups. At the very least, this is a friend. You have shared a community with them, you either went to school with them or you met in the workplace, you admire them with the Three of Pentacles. With the Three of Swords reversed, it's like there's something that you want to say but you can't, and it's causing more pain. So that third week, it does feel like this happens suddenly, and it has us thinking very reflectively, like we're thinking about our own life, we're thinking about what we want, and we're almost comparing ourselves to this close loved one and what they're going through, because it feels like they're going through hardship, and that hardship is making us want to change our trajectory. It's making us look at our life differently. So in the fourth week of April, I see with Judgment here, there's a resurrection of your past here. There's something from your past that has you thinking, that's come into your present and has you thinking differently. What are they doing here? We have the Moon and the Father of Swords, which I would argue is you. The Father of Swords, the Moon, and the Son of Wands. So with this resurrection energy of Judgment, I feel like there's an energy of someone coming towards you. That fourth week of April, you have the chance to have a conversation with somebody and to open up and really talk about what you've been going through, but some of you aren't ready yet. Some of you aren't wanting to yet. Some of you are choosing to keep your feelings bottled up. I think it would be in your best interest to communicate, but it feels like you're worried that this person is just going to use that opportunity to talk about themselves, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to be anyone's therapist with the Father of Swords reversed. So it feels like you're looking for someone to open up to here. With the Son of Wands, There's something about this that feels spontaneous, and that's kind of frustrating because it's like, I wish we would have planned this better. I wish I could have, you know, been able to think about this. Yeah, the Emperor, I wish I could have planned this. I wish this wasn't so unexpected. I wish I knew that this was going to happen. So there seems to be a lot of hindsight here. You're realizing things after they happen, and that's very frustrating for you. But I need you to know that now, because some of these things are going to be better handled when you realize what's going on because of this reading. So I want to get advice for you, Aquarius, because we're running out of time, unfortunately. What is the advice for Aquarius in the month of April, Spirit? What is their overall advice? What is Aquarius's overall advice? I'm seeing that you need to stay connected. Don't isolate yourself forever. Stay connected to the people that matter, and make sure that you're not cutting yourself off from people. Stay connected. Your card for advice is Snapdragon, which is the purification card associated with the air element, you again, Gemini, and the number 41. So as advice, Aquarius, I see that April is going to be a month that really triggers some deep thinking. The goal here is to transition, is to make changes based on what your feelings are telling you, because remember, your feelings are a symptom. I see you trying to bottle yourself up. I see you being stubborn at times and not wanting to open up to people. I see friends here being a part of your advice with Gemini. Your advice is to stay connected, to keep communication open with loyal people, loyal, loving people, your friends especially. I see you leaning on your friends more than your family in April. I see you needing to straighten out your thought process and purify your thoughts. You will have a lot of intrusive thoughts in April for some reason, thoughts that aren't necessarily positive, and they have no rhyme or reason. There's a difference between processing heaviness and sadness versus dwelling in pessimistic thinking, and I want you to be very careful about knowing the difference between the two. You should absolutely give yourself time in the month of April to rest, but please don't fall into that pessimistic thinking trap. You are being called to purify your way of thinking. And I think with Snapdragon here in general, you are being steered towards a new beginning for yourself. You have the opportunity with the Judgment card at the end of your month to do things differently if you want to. The opportunity to have a serious conversation about your feelings, and the opportunity to make some big changes in your life. So Carpe diem, sweets, or carpe month, whatever the Latin word for month is. I hope this was a helpful reading, Aquarius. It's been an interesting one for me, a very heavy energy. So if this doesn't 100% resonate, I would recommend you come back throughout the month to see if it hits different. It may resonate as the month progresses. Otherwise, you may have messages in your sun, moon, rising, the other placements in your astrological natal chart. You're welcome to have a look there. You do not have to accept this as your future. These readings are intended to inform you and to give you as much information as possible, but ultimately, the future is in your hands. You have the ability through your actions, through your thoughts, and what you choose to do to create the outcome that you want. So I hope this reading is helpful for you, and I'm sending you so much love and light for the month of April. I will connect with you in another video. Bye.